Greetings fellow legionnaires, I'm Chevalier and I bid you welcome to the initial situation of Byzantium and also the guide to Byzantium and how to conquer the Ottomans and go even further. This video was brought to you at the request of the anonymous Ep25 in a comment. As you know, I take recommendations, and if you actually give me a recommendation, I'll try to do it usually in the next queue or the queue after that. It depends on if I have something recorded already. This also takes some pressure off me, simply because I won't have to think what nation I should bring next, for example. It really makes things easier for me, so recommend all the way. Now, let's go to the shitstorm that is Byzantium. Byzantium is, I'll say, one of the hardest countries to play. They are different from, let's say, Ryukyu, who, let's say, they are the hardest country to play, for example. Or no Ryukyu here. They are difficult simply because they are in danger from the start. Ryukyu, for example, is not in the red zone from the start. You know, it takes a while for them to be, let's say, 10-20 years. But Byzantium, they're almost done from the start. Like, they're in the crossroads of the Ottomans, and they'll die really fast. Pretty much same goes for the countries in the Balkans, Wallachia, Albania, Serbia, Karaman, Kandar, anything in the area around the Ottomans. It's really hard to play simply because of the urgency of your gameplay. When I usually play this, I pause the game and look at the current situation and the relations between all of these countries here to see where the Ottomans might attack. But yeah, let's go into the tabs first, then let's go to the initial situation. Let's go first with cash. Here, as you can see, we are pretty low. My recommendation is to kill this. You won't need it. You're gonna keep this and mothball it. It's gonna give you 2.1 ducats. If we kill our maintenance, also we're gonna mothball this fleet here. We'll see that we go to 3.5. Now, this is all the cash you'll have. And you're gonna probably take loans as well in fighting the Ottomans. There's no way to go about it. It will be really tricky for you to fight the Ottomans, especially if you use some strategies with Skanderberg and try to be a little bit more efficient. Although some strategies are very valuable if you actually try to use Skanderberg, for example, and fight earlier on. If you actually just start the game, you're not gonna be able to do this. You might need a couple of restarts. But if you want to go for achievement, try to go for the Skanderberg stuff. We'll talk about the guide when we get there. Now, we have 3.5 ducats. If you do this, we're gonna have the 2.4 actually. So we're gonna be strapped for cash to some degree. So, no advisors are recommended. To be honest, there's no way for you to use an advisor that earlier on. You need a cash for true maintenance and the rest. Although deploy rep guy is decent, so you should hire one because it's gonna be useful. But only this guy. These guys are not useful at all. Now, you are an empire, which is decent, to be honest. Being an empire at the start, it's really gonna help you. And you have the feudal monarchy stuff, national manpower modifier, income from vassal, and the autonomy change. As for your leaders, they are quite crap, to be honest. My recommendation is to make them into a general, make them into general, so you can probably have some more luck on siege pips. Although you should probably just make this guy into a general and let this guy inherit and see whoever what is this guy's heir, basically. If he has a decent heir, kill him. If he doesn't have a decent heir, I recommend killing him as well, simply because you don't want to be into a regency. It's really gonna slow your expansion down, because you are at risk in getting into a regency, basically, due to the age of these two guys here. Now, as for the focus here, it depends on your military power. It depends on your national ideas, or what you want to take next. First, actually, not next. You might want to go for a military idea It's possible as well to go for a military idea and just also get the tech up on military really fast and just westernize from here and save some points from there as well. You can do that. You can also focus admin and go for the land expansion. That is doable as well. There are plenty of strategies, but we'll talk in the ideas tab and how you should use the strategies, and you should focus depending on those situations. Now, we talk about government. Let's talk about diplomacy. Right now you see you have two rivals, Genoa and Tunis. You should rival the Ottomans because you should probably have to kill them at some point. As you can see, they haven't rivaled you. They rivaled by quite some amount of guys, which are gonna help you. This is usually the standard stuff. They have four rivals. These four guys, they are always rival them. But now you have rivaled the Ottomans. For the next, I don't recommend taking anything. Just leave it at the Ottomans. They are the only guys that you want to attack at first. Then you'll want to take some more rivals. But first, just remain with the Ottomans. With the Ottomans as the first rival, you're still gonna gain points here. Although if you're gonna get more points, again, it's not that recommended. So, rivals on the Ottomans. As for alliances, it depends on the strategy. You might want to go for Hungary, Poland, either Hungary or Poland. They usually rival themselves. I guess in this moment they haven't rivaled them. So it's possible to get an alliance with Poland, although if you look at this, they don't want lands from the Ottomans. Only Moldavia wants lands from the Ottomans, so they will not join you in an attack. Hungary, they will join you in an attack. So it's possible to get an alliance with them. If you look here, they're close. If you actually have, we are threatened, we are the rival. If you get a royal marriage, you're going to be able to get an alliance with Hungary and be able to kill them, to have them join you in a war. Now, remember, Hungary, Serbia, Albania, Wallachia, or Venice. If you can get an alliance with Venice, though it's gonna be tricky simply because you need more navy strength, you need them to like you. As you can see, you don't have that much stuff. Simply, as you can see here, they haven't rivaled the Ottomans, so that's mainly why you cannot do it. Now, this is all for the alliances and rivals. Later on, alliances perhaps with Castile to fight off Naples is gonna be decent. France against Austria, England against France, standard stuff. Poland against Hungary. It's pretty much standard stuff. There's nothing much to say on alliances. It depends on the situation at that point. Now, let's go to cash, which already did. Let's go to trade. Trade is quite simple. In the early game, just push from here and here. You're gonna go to Constantinople. You're gonna send your ships to patrol the trade nodes. To patrol the Constantinople trade node and get a little bit more cash. You're gonna make a decent amount of cash from Constantinople for the mid game. It's your capital. Later on, my recommendation is to move to Genoa trade node or either Venice trade node, depending on your own conquests. Though it's better to move into the Genoa trade node earlier on rather than move to the Venice trade node, simply because it's an end trade node, and with some strategies you might actually want to go and colonize. Again, it's situational, depends on your own skill and as well on your luck, to be honest. Like, you can colonize as the Byzantines. If you, let's say, take a military idea first, or take an admin idea first, the military, and save one of your slots for Diplo, for example. Again, it's possible to colonize, and it's recommended. Same goes for the HR leadership. Now, let's go to the tech tree. Pretty standard stuff here. Push admin whenever possible. Push tech whenever possible. Push admin when it's possible, and try to use the modifiers as well. Try to use the modifiers as much as possible. Try to basically get over to what, 1.2, then actually take a tech. But try not to waste points as well, and don't go over the limit. Just, it's better for you to build some base stacks here with the admin, rather than just waste it on tech. Same goes for diplomacy. Just save points for integration, for example, or save points for your ideas if you want to take a diplo idea. Pretty same stuff as always. For military, take it as soon as possible. That is my recommendation here. You want to reduce the threat. You want to reduce the chances of somebody attacking you, and tech is gonna help you with that in a heavy degree. Take it whenever possible, simply because you're kind of small. You're quite small, actually, not kind of small, and you're under threat by the Ottomans. Later on, just go for the standard. Try to use the modifiers here as much as possible, the -5% or the 10% modifier as much as possible, and just take the take when you want to go to war, or when you feel that you're cornered, anything of this sort. As for the westernization, it can be done either by that or by event, because you're Western tech. As you can see here, we are sorry, Eastern tech, not Western tech. Now, idea-wise, let's go over to the ideas. You have advisor cost -10%, tolerance of the true fate +3%, which is really gonna help you. You have the mercenary maintenance -25%, the national manpower modifiers +10%, and goods produced +5%. You have the national tax modifier +10%, the stability cost modifier -10%, global trade power +10%, discipline +5, missionary strength +3, and at max you have area prestige +1. The missionary strength is really decent, I'll say. Same goes for the discipline. The global trade power is good as well. Stab cost modifier is useless. National tax modifier is decent. Manpower is decent. Goods produced is quite low, to be honest. I wanted more modifiers here actually. Maybe 15 with 10, that'll be good, or 20 with 10, that'll be actually quite good. And the mercenary maintenance is gonna help you to some degree. Same goes for the advisor cost. This is really gonna be good when you want to take high level advisors. It's really gonna help you. Same goes for the transfer through fate and prestige. I would say that is decent as well at max. It's not that great. You could have something else, to be honest, especially at max. But again, in these patches you're gonna have low prestige all the time, especially when you're big. But again, it's let's say below average. Below average, to be honest. That I'll call decent. Even average I'll call decent, but could have been better. Now, overall the ideas are decent, though you're probably gonna form the... Where it is? You can actually form the Roman Empire. You can actually do it like that, and you're gonna be golden. You're gonna get the Roman Empire ideas, which are better than the Byzantine ideas to some degree. Although it's up to you how you want to pull it off. It remains into your care if you want to form the Roman Empire. If you actually look at the Roman Empire for a second, if I go to the wiki, let's see the... I don't have it. Let's actually look it up. Roman Empire. Basically, they have discipline +5%, illegitimacy +1, national unrest -1, diplomatic reputation +2, stability cost modifier -20%, land force limit modifiers +15%, any vertical mutability +10%, production efficiency +20, national tax modifiers, national tax modifier +10, core creation cost -20%, and at ambitions you have +30% national manpower modifier. Again, it's quite good, to be honest. It's better than the Byzantines, so go for the HRE whenever Roman Empire whenever possible. But again, you'll need tons of provinces to form the Roman Empire. You need what? Italy, France, Iberia, Balkans, Anatolia, and Mashkir. So basically, and some other capitals, for example, as well, like Festin, Cairo, London, Yorkshire, Ceylon, Vienna. So if I actually go here, basically Balkans, Italy, France, what is it? Iberia, Anatolia, and Mashkiro. And this also, yeah, no, Mashkiro, yeah, sorry. I was going the wrong way. So basically this case here, it's quite a lot of promises, to be honest. So you're probably gonna go to the max ideas before you can actually form the Roman Empire. It's quite huge, to be honest. You might not even be able to form it in the first, I'll say 200 years, maybe 300 years with France. You have to fight France, you have to fight Castile. It's gonna be ugly. Yeah, it's gonna be ugly, man. It's gonna be really ugly. Ugly, quite ugly. But yeah, let's actually continue. So, for ideas, there are a couple of options here. First and foremost, standard land stuff, basically. Standard land conquest that is influenced with 2 points in admin. Then religious, that's the standard stuff. Although, as I said before, you can go for a military idea first, in which case I would recommend either quantity or offensive. They really suit you well. You probably have to take an idea after the first war if you're lucky. So if you want to go for military idea first, I recommend going offensive. It's gonna give you a decent amount of modifiers, although quality is decent as well, mainly because you need better ships to dominate the Mediterranean, and it's gonna give you better ships as well, as you can see here. Although, again, they are quite the same, to be honest. Though these things are gonna help you earlier on when you're a mid-level nation. The forcibly warfare is gonna be good as well for you. So, this is crap actually. Recovery moral speed, it's not good. But yeah, either quality, offensive, or quantity, depending on when you're suited. You can actually check the video for that that I have on the tutorials. It's gonna really help you decide. Now, if you want to go for military idea first, then a second idea, I recommend going for exploration if at all possible, and try to move like this. Again, it's doable. It's quite doable if you can attack Tunis and attack Morocco, then move to a new world. It's doable. It's doable. I will say this, it's doable. It's not recommended, it's doable. And then you can actually go for expansion and go for the full package of expanding. My recommendation for new players is go for standard stuff, influence, then admin, then religious, then a military idea. That's my recommendation for medium level players. For more experienced players, I recommend going for military ideas first, with a focus on military points, so you can get better attacks faster, so you can keep yourself up with the military ideas. That's my recommendation. Whatever ideas you pick, it's up to you. If you win the first war and take all of your cores back, if you can actually see, I forgot about the cores, but I'll talk about them in the video. If you take all of your cores back, I simply recommend just taking offensive. It's really gonna help you win this war faster, especially the siege ability, I would say, which is quite good. Now, it's also possible to go with trade ideas first to get more cash. I would say, let's say, trade and economic if you want to build a tall empire. It's doable as well, and you're gonna have tons of cash. With the mercenary maintenance that you get from your own ideas as the first, is really gonna help you have a huge merc army. That is doable as well for trade and economic if you want to go for something more stylish. Although I recommend going for the expansion stuff, for the land expansion, influence, and admin. Like landlocked expansion, influence, and admin, then religious, to have the Holy War CB, so you can actually vassal feed and take some of your lands, some connecting lands to yourself that you can actually want to core. Then influence ideas for the vassal annexation, deploy annexation cost minus 25%, and the deploy rep, of course, and the overall it's a good package if I say so myself. Especially unjustified demands, though. If you have the CP from religious, from those vault, it's gonna be not that interesting, not that useful. Sorry, not interesting. Now, also it's recommended that you go for this simply because you'll want to have to take tons of land to form the Roman Empire if you want to form the Roman Empire, which is gonna be quite a challenge to core all of this, and you're gonna use tons of points. But yeah, this is it all for ideas. Another thing that I would like to add, you can maybe forget about the religious and go for humanist. again, you need a dose volt CB, to be honest. You really need a dose volt CB. That's why I'm saying that those volt CB is really gonna help you, and the ideas are gonna help you control this a lot better, simply because this is Sunni, this is Catholic. It's gonna be quite a challenge. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a challenge for you. This is all for ideas. Now let's move to the missions and decisions here. So, mission wise, let's just jump back a little bit to the wiki. So we have the Byzantium missions and the Purple Phoenix missions. Purple Phoenix is the DLC, so you have to have the DLC to do it. So we have the admin missions to convert the people of Asia Minor. It's basically colonization to switch the religion of some provinces. That's pretty decent. We have the diplomatic missions to restore the Pentecracy, which is gonna give you 10% and give it to trigger the event for the Pentecracy. You have to own Rome, Alexandria, Aleppo, Jerusalem, and Antioch. So basically, let's go. You already know Rome, Alexandria, Aleppo, Constantinople, and whatever is left, and Jerusalem. So basically, Catholic, yes. No, let's say done. Jerusalem here as well. What do we have here? Military missions, recover Greece, recover Asia Minor, conquer the Eastern Balkans, so basically all of the stuff regarding these regions here. So actually let's go to this. So basically the Balkans, no, let's look in it. Yeah, so the Balkans, the Eastern Balkans should be here. So at the Eastern Balkans, Southern Italy, Eternal City, that is Rome. Rome as well, reclaim Sicily. What do we have? Annihilate Venice. Pretty much standard stuff for conquest. They're really decent, and they have some good modifiers. That is all for the Byzantine missions. For the Purple Phoenix missions, you have the recover Anatolia, Western Anatolia, so basically Western Anatolia, Central Anatolia, and Eastern Anatolia. Also you have the recover Kafka, recover Eastern Islands, so basically by you mean Eastern Islands are Crete, Naxos, and Rhodes, so Crete, Naxos, and Rhodes. You have the recover Kafka, which is here, if you see here, Kafka. We have recover Albania, recover Istria, Albania, recover Istria. So Istria, it's Ragusa, basically. Wait, no, it's what was it? Dalmatia, Lika, and Istria, basically these lands here. Dalmatia, Lika, and Istria. Yeah, all these things here. All three of them. There are what? Recover Northern Italy, recover Lombardia, so basically just to take back your recover Western Islands, recover Hispania, recover Tripoli, recover Tunis, recover Antioch, recover Jerusalem, recover Alexandria, so basically to reform the Roman Empire, to reform the former borders of the Roman Empire. That is the reason for the Purple Phoenix DLC. Now for the events, let's talk about the events with the Purple Phoenix DLC. So you have for the Athens Reclaim, you're gonna get an event and it's gonna switch the religion to Orthodox. The same goes from Nicomedia. Wait, no, those are the three constitutions, my bad. So Athens has to be Orthodox, and you're gonna get some diplomatic power and prestige. Same goes from Nicomedia. You have Pretender Rises, pretty standard stuff. We have Antioch has the same stuff as well with Reclaimed. You're gonna get Patriarch Authority and diplomatic power. Same goes for Jerusalem. Same goes for Rome. They're gonna get prestige for Rome and not Patriarch Authority. Rome Orthodoxy restored. You're gonna get Patriarch Authority. You have the Turks driven from the Western Balkans. You're gonna get points, 50 points in every category. From the Turks driven from the Eastern Balkans as well, so that is gonna give you points as well. Thus different from Anatolia, the same way. You have the court factions influence ruler for the plus 50 military power or for the minus 25 military power. Same goes, they're the same stuff for Diplo and admin as well. And those are the purple DLC events. Yeah, also remember that this the events for the influence ruler will give you a flag, and it's not gonna allow you to get a new event for 1 year on the same category. Just so you actually know, it depends on your luck, and can boost your point gain to some degree. But yeah, this is it for the purple Phoenix events. Now let's go to these things again here. Basically, Western Focus allows you to become Western. By event, you have to hold Vienna or Prague as well. You'll most likely go for Vienna. Also, you have these things here. Basically, this event here is gonna get you a Greek naming to Turkish provinces, and you're gonna gain base tax, base production, and base manpower in Constantinople. And you're gonna get national manpower modifier was 25% up until the 1821, so it's quite good. Now, this event here is if you have aristocratic. It's again a good idea that you can take if you want to go for a first print idea. Just get 1 point in noble knights, so you can actually get these armies for free. It's really gonna help you to some degree as well. If you want to use it, you have the Triumph for Greece. You have to own Northern Greece and Morea, and you're gonna get. You can take this for Prestige and Army Tradition. Same for the Balkans, and they should be a little bit more. One for Anatolia as well. There are plenty of them. You just have to own lands into these regions, and many more will pop up for Triumph events. But yeah, this is for the missions and decisions. This pretty much our standard stuff. Again, you shouldn't take that many missions earlier on. You should see where the wind blows, then decide on whatever you want to go. Stability and expansion, pretty standard stuff. There's nothing much to say here. Go this according to the path of colonization video. And for the war exhaustion and stability, boost now, of course. Boost now, because you're gonna get more cash, and the war exhaustion reduce whenever you think that you need to reduce war exhaustion. As for religion, you are Orthodox, which is gonna give you stability cost modifier minus 10%, and tolerance of the true frame plus 1%, and you have the Patriarch Authority, which is gonna give you at max mission strength plus 2%, local unrest minus 3, and local manpower modifiers plus 33%. Now, it's possible for you to switch to either Sunni or Catholic, however you want to pull it. It's up to you. Catholic, it's gonna allow you to become a HRE Emperor quite quickly if you want to go for the HRE Emperorship. Although it can still happen if you're Orthodox and you have the what's it called? Basically, the religious league wars happen and it's a truce. So the piece of something here happens. I really cannot remember, to be honest. Happens, and every religion, every Christian religion can become the HRE Emperor. Then you can become a HRE Emperor. Depends on your mood. You can try to become Catholic. Overall, I do think that Catholic gives you better options, I would say, mainly to the fact that you can become the Kuria controller. If you are able to become the Kuria controller, that's gonna give you to some degree a large margin, bonus to your stuff. Although, if you want to go for a more stable land, just simply go for the Patriarch Authority. Sorry, you get a missionary strength. The local unrest is good as well. It's gonna help you conquer to some degree, and you get the local manpower modifier plus 33%. which is quite good as well. Though, as you can see, you lose tax, which is not that great. So there are always malices to being Orthodox. That's why I say that it's better for you to just go Catholic. It's gonna help you, but it's up to you, to be honest. If you don't want to complicate yourself, just remain Orthodox. Now let's go to military. Military, you have a force limit of 17, which is quite sorry, naval force limit of 17, and army force limit of 11. You should probably build it up to the max. You have you have a 6 and 2, so my recommendation is to go 8-3 basically. So 8 infantry, 3 cav as well, which is gonna help you. Then you're gonna move your troops here as well, move them back to Achaea. As for this, my recommendation is to make this guy, as I said, this guy, mainly because you'll want perhaps some good siege value here, which is gonna help you. This is it here, there's nothing much to say other than good luck in using your armies. Now let's go to subjects. You have only Athens, which are gonna switch to supportive. You want them to attach to you. They give you some ducats, and you have a core on them, which you can actually annex quite fast, integrate quite fast, and with no cost because you have the core on it. So that is decent as well. Nothing much more to say on the subjects. We'll talk about what you should feed to Athens later on. Now, for the estates, yeah, the burgher, the clergy, and nobility, pretty standard stuff. Clergy do not have that much control. Because you haven't given them anything. You should try to probably give them something. If you look at the estates here, you'll see that you can give them Achaea. You should give them Achaea simply because they're gonna lose what's it called? They're gonna lose sorry, what's loyalty here. So you should probably just give them Achaea. So you give them to the clergy, and they're gonna go up to 70% to here. Now you should try to get this to 75 as usual. So what you need what, 20? No, you need 25. So you're gonna want to go for the 6 support perhaps. So 6 support, then recruit the minister, and it's gonna get you the necessary amount. Again, you already have this here, the loyalty bonus, so you should probably just go for the inquisitor and the minister, and without using that. And you want to take this whenever you want. Another recommendation here, you can probably go for this as well and go over to 87 if you think that you can take your lands back, take your course back, which is really gonna help you. That is gonna give you a decent amount of it's gonna lower the control of the clergy again, which is gonna be good. The nobility is pretty much about the same stuff here. You can go whatever you feel like you want to go. Let's Grand Generalship, you can probably go for all of them, same stuff as here, though try to go for them when you have taken your lands back. Simply because this is quite stupid of me to do this. And for the military power, as you can see, you're gonna get into 100 if you go over the limit. So you can do this if you want to wait. You can do this right when you take your course back. Just go for full, so you can get the 50 more points. It's a little bit cheeky, but it's doable. As for burghers, there's nothing you can do here. You're gonna have to wait for some more lands to give them control, so they'll have over 30%, so you can actually go for the Grand Monopoly charters. But yeah, this is it for the estates, and this is it for the initial situation. Next episode, on the part 2 of Byzantium, we're gonna talk about the attack and what are the best strategies and allies, etc. This will give you a guide into expanding as Byzantium and hopefully surviving the Ottomans, which is going to be a little bit difficult if I say so myself. But I'm Chevalier, I bid you farewell, and I hope you enjoy this. Remember, I do recommendations if you want to give me something to, if you have a suggestion. Basically, just put it in the comments and I'll try to do it. Again, I'm Chevalier, and I bid you welcome. Bye, guys.